The umpires tonight, Donlan, Stevick and Armstrong. Cool night outside. Terrific at Etihad Stadium. The opening bounce. And a good one too. And the way down, fingertips to it. Nothing much done. Down goes Weller. Picked off.
Report it, you report it. Rough conduct.
So Weller is to his feet.
Let it go.
Sidebottom's been reported. Weller stumbling away, as you can see. He's in terrible trouble. Bad thinking by the Saints. Now, Stephen's been penalised. Someone should have gone and taken that footy from Weller.
Yeah, that's everything that I guess the bump's been designed to get out of the game. Jumped off the ground and collected him high.
Well, he's coming off with the blood rule, so he obviously there's some blood being drawn somehow. That the umpire said it's not freely bleeding, so allowed him to stay on.
So what a messy old start, to this Friday night match. A sensational start in so many ways. So the report and then the turnover. Montagne's handball cut off by Goldsack. Here is Sidebottom. Malira couldn't get him down. Little give came from Nunes, and then Malira and Ray. Murdoch's handball not good. He actually had some space, Murdoch, in the end. Back to Stephen. And then Montagna, who fluffs it a bit. McCaffer in short. Play on called. Elliott, Pendlebury, and now, well, Sidebottom.
Really strange.
And he goes short again, so for Solo, just drifting down.
The crowd mustn't have seen. He would have thought he would have got a boo for actually that contact with the St Kilda people. Might not. That happened so quickly. I don't think anyone was quite sure what happened.
I mean, it was so out of character for a player who is usually so poised. It just really clumsy act to start the game off for still Sidebottom.
So he had an eventful day, didn't he, for Solo last week? Down back and remonstrated with by the ex-captain, and then kicked an important goal, and Collingwood get the first on this Friday night through for Solo. Well, hard to get your head around everything that's happened so far, and here we go again.
It was just a cursory look at the condition of Weller too, wasn't it? I mean, he was really staggering about there.
Yeah, he was.
And just left to play. Nat Nui a bit the same way last week when he landed on his head.
Tom?
Well, here's the bump here. I mean, he's left the ground. He's collected him high, so he's
him with his elbow, and in fact out of his body, I think. So
and the fact that Weller's taken some time to get up, yeah, he'll miss, I think.
Tim, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely left the ground, and he's in a bit of trouble. But I would have thought they'd take Weller straight off the ground, given that he had the job of minding Pendlebury as well.
Sidebottom has been active. This is Williams. Malira got him. That's holding the footy. Well done, Malira. Storming in off the line. Now Weller's going off the ground in that 50.
Got to be careful, don't you? Thomas, I think it was. Montagna, he was sort of tangled up a bit with Montagna, and his throw had to be 15 metres, and it was 5.
Welcome to quirky Friday night football. What a strange start.
It's been a strange start.
So Malira should kick a goal from here. 35 metres out, directly in front. Indigenous round. Right behind him. Swinging, and it's missed. Bad miss. Minor score.
They really are terrible errors, aren't they? I mean, really, in Montfort, you've got to throw the ball back to the guy with the free kick. And it's just a rad discipline error not to do so.
Coach killers, aren't they?
Coach killers is a good word for it.
So 50 against Lenny here, against Lenny Hayes. So Keith, can we restart this match?
I'm expecting Vincent Price to walk out and introduce the evening.
So here's Witts out wide. He misses the target. Well, that's not unusual tonight. Sipos caught up. Lumumba, good step. Meridia well played. And then with Dash, gets the ball inside the forward 50. Delaney takes an uncontested, really marked there. And then able to spread it wide. Ray, who we chatted to in the countdown tonight, talked about the fact it was Dunstan to Ray, by the way. So talked about the fact that he's been wing rolling to half back.
Dunstan again in trouble. Not 15, said the umpire. So Ray has to fox it. Nice pick up too. Dunstan Finds a way through. Well, almost. Taken down nicely by Blair. Picked up by Langdon. Side bottom in everything. Sweeping hand pass towards the middle. Goal sack. Pendlebury. Like him a lot. Oh, smothered off the boot. Down towards the pocket. Shenton. Out of defence. Stretching for it. Hayes can't reel it in. It bounces out of bounds. Collingwood by 5.
Tim mentioned Navwella running with Pendlebury's obviously off the ground. The other key midfield matchup is McCaffer has gone to Jack Stephen.
So Jack Stephen pulls rank on Lee Montagna and Lenny Hayes.
Changing at the guard.
Yeah, beams his handball to space, really. White, well, she had a long time. Tuvey creating some space and then wobbling to full forward. Cloak with a couple to beat. And a behind. Wayne looked at his first efforts over the last 9 rounds.
Yeah, look, it was a good start for him because he was the guy that ran in and chased a St Kilda player down to get that free kick out of the middle. But that is a markable ball, that ball right there.
He dropped it. To it, hold it.
It wasn't a spoil, it was just a drop mark.
Does this mean he's gone for the night?
Well, I hope
is that
not.
what we conclude from all this?
Well, the first contest was an intercept mark to Delaney also.
Can I tell you, tonight feels different.
Montagna close to the boundary line. Climbing over the pack was Keith. Gets it out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in.
What he does do when Delaney took that mark, he takes his eye off where the ball's coming from, so he turns his back to play. So therefore, when the ball's kicked, he can't judge the ball through the air.
Longer straight down to Adams, who gave it away. Newnes standing up at the tackle. Ross. Dunstan's been busy. Newnes under pressure. Thomas got him, a late inclusion. They battle right on the 50. The umpire is circling and a belated whistle.
Have another look here. So he gets 2 hands to the ball. I mean, it's 2 on 1, but he got 2 hands there. There were no spoils.
When he's in form, he does cluck those, doesn't he?
So Witts with that high. Elliott to full forward, and again Delaney able to fill the hole there. So he's had a good start. Releases Dempster. Good kick coming out. Standing now, we know how fast he can run. He just couldn't get away from kick there. Revolt's created some space. Neat kick, well done. Nick's got it. That was good stuff. Good transition. 2 kicks ready from fullback.
And that's the difference between the 2 forwards. I mean, Nick Rewalt able to get a meterage on his opponent. Travis Cloak right now just lost. Delaney taking 2 marks in his defensive 50.
Well, highlighting Nick's work rate, he takes 4.5 marks a game on the lead, and that's next best is 3. He just outworks his opponents, provides a fantastic focal point for his St Kilda teammates to kick to.
At the moment, he's currently 4th on the St Kilda list with Stewie Lowe for goals in his career, and he hasn't been missing this year. So Revolt gets the goal and scores a level.
Was good ball movement from St Kilda there, and I think that's what they need to do. Any young, inexperienced side, when they come up against a more experienced opposition, is really chance their arm early in the game, get some confidence that way, bring it through the middle of the ground.
A couple of things on Nick. I mean, 13 of his 25 goals now 40 metres or beyond. He's only kicked 1 first-quarter goal before tonight, so that's a really good start for him.
24-6, he's been an absolute dead-eye this year. He's making beautiful contact.
Look at this work rate here from Nick Revolt. That's exactly what he does, but that was a beautifully placed kick. The other activity going on the sidelines at the moment, as well as downstairs being assessed, so the Saints have actually taken the vest off Clinton Jones, so he's got 20 minutes. They've got 20 minutes to assess the health of Weller before they make a decision on him for the night.
Hopefully he's feeling Weller. There's a kick to Pendlebury inside the centre square, just wants to square it. Keith pushing up the ground. Wide is Maxwell, close to the boundary line. There's the movement towards the middle, attracts the football. Beams, no real pressure on. Beams ambles away, kicks deep inside the forward 50. At the back for Solo, couldn't work his way to the front. Mark is taken by Shenton. Had a good game last week, comes wide. In fact, the week before they had the bye last week, as it goes close to the line from Newnes on the lead Stanley, and it goes across the boundary.
Didn't make any contact, otherwise he'd probably in a bit of trouble for sticking the leg out.
Wide and longer together. And then Ross has handballed to Newnes. And over the top. Just, Tim, just very quickly. Ross, your relationship is your cousin, is he? Or?
That's right, he's my sister's boy.
Did you speak to him today at all? Was he?
No, I didn't speak to him today.
Sorry, Timmy.
I can't give you any inside information about St Kilda, Macri, if that's what you're getting at.
I've been trying to get you all day. I thought you were talking to Ross. Thanks, Tim. That's the hardest question I'll ask you all night. The kick to the pocket. Shenton. And here is Ross. How do they do it, then? It always happens. Anyway, he's Tim's nephew, so he's well bred, I reckon.
Scores a level. Boundary throw in.
Thanks, Jonesy.
Inside the attacking 50 for the Magpies. White, clearly. Adams in trouble. Schneider did well. McCaffer goes after it. Tackled by Ross.
They've done good damage control at the moment. St Kilda, the ball's been in the forward half for Collingwood for most of this first part of the game, but they've only been able to kick their 2 scoring shots, and St Kilda have rebounded out and got their couple as well.
Pendlebury, third man up, tapped it down. Ross in trouble. Spills wide of the pack. Putting the body in was Stephen. Stealing it away, Thomas. Sends it down towards full forward, Delaney. Delaney does well. Then took his eye off the football at the last moment. Goldsack the beneficiary. Pendlebury taken high, was he? Plowns the call. Must have ducked. Another ball up. We've had a few.
Yeah, the taller backs of St Kilda, Shenton, Delaney, Bruce to a lesser extent, and Dempster, maybe too high, have all stood up, taking the game on.
So White probably just won it. Ross almost, and then McCaffer. Well done, Longer getting down low, and then Stephen just belting it out. Now, does it sit for Stanley? Did well, Stanley. Just got a little tap on it. Keith with him, Stanley on the up. Almost cut off by Tuvey. Free kick to the Saints. So Dunstan heard the call. Right at the back, Lumumba. Did he throw it away? Obviously not. Williams held on to, stood up well. Tuvey on the left, switches it out wide. Gets to Young, another lefty. That not such a good kick. Unusual for him, he's normally very good, and Dempster cuts it off.
Plays on, this is Billings. No, it's not, it's Curran. Lobs one, looking for Dunstan. He couldn't control it. Blair comes away. Nice kick. Cloak has marked down towards half for the big fella. Can he find some form? Not with that kick. It wanders towards the pocket and then took a bounce that favoured Nunes. Looping hand pass. Shenton comes away. Goes with the outside of the boot, coming on through the interchange. Nice done, Australian. Side bottom took it. That was Murdoch who sent it out. There goes the kick down towards full forward. And going back, the mark is taken down there by Dempster. Murdoch involved with a hand pass to bring them away. This is Ross. Meantime, to Stephen.
So Stephen, good kick down the line to Hayes, and then Hayes off that step, revolt. So some great name zero. And then revolt with a centering ball. It was not a great kick, and side bottom takes the mark on Stanley. Little give. Beams' long ball. Cloak with a real chance here. On the run from the pocket.
Just to highlight how much pressure the St Kilda side's under at the moment. Of their 45 disposals so far tonight, 26 have been inside their defensive 50.
Mitch Maxwell's just hobbling off as we speak. I don't think it's a normal interchange. He looked a little sore.
Straight down the race leg.
Yeah.
So Dempster. Good pick up his beam. Play on, goes very short to the pocket. Getting back is Stephen. Best and fairest last season. Just jabs it along the boundary line to Curran. So Curran decides to change direction, at least halfway. Thinking about the opposite pocket, then comes back to Hayes. Hayes coming off 32 possessions last week. Half-distance kick up towards the wing. Will be first to arrive. Frost did well once, then twice. Bounced off a would-be tackler. This is Langdon through midfield. Sends it long down towards full forward. Elliott loves that situation. Umpire says unrealistic. I'm not sure it's unrealistic.
Not for him.
That's great.
If he'd actually timed his leap,
He got his hands,
and got his hands up, he wasn't that far off being able to clunk it. Oh, maybe a foot.
Yes, unfortunately, the man in front caved in, didn't he? Dempster goes out wide.
Should have been stronger.
Montagna.
He's cost Elliott a car. Do they still get a car?
You need a straight man to be straight.
Good kick from Montagna to Malera. And then using the run of Joey, and Revolt picked it up brilliantly. Ray banging the ball forward. Difficult one for Tuvey. Swept on by Sipos. Just a great tackle coming from Langdon on Schneider. It really was terrific. Adams. Was that Thomas, I think? Down the line. And now Dunstan gets back. Jones is on at least for 20 minutes because of Weller's situation. Down in the rooms after the report on Sidebottom. Murdoch first game this year. That's a brilliant kick. Sipos, we know he's a long kick, and he's done well here. Malera all on his own.
Playing a bit of rope-a-dope here, aren't they, really? The St Kilda, they're just holding Collingwood from scoring, but in good field position, and every now and again they're bouncing out and generating a shot.
It's just a brilliant kick, isn't it?
Standing near Sipos in the warm-up, just getting the approval of the skipper, Nick Revolt. He's a big lad, and he kicks the ball exceptionally well, so he's got all the tools.
Well, Malera missed an easy one earlier. Kicked 2 last week. You feel he's in the team because he is another option. He's a goal kicker, and he squeezes at home, and the Saints are in front. I think he has to kick 3 goals every 2 weeks. That's what he's there for. He's got to tick the scoreboard over.
Well, you've got to be able to score from the opportunities. Collingwood are doing everything right, except that they're owning the ball in their forward half. 3rd and inside 50 entries for 3 scoring shots. 4 inside 50 St Kilda for 3 scoring shots, 2 goals. So.
Boys, jump out. Let's go.
But the first quarter's been a lot about the bump. Sidebottom. How many weeks, guys?
That wasn't a bump. That was just a poking out elbow.
How many weeks do you think?
Well, you sort of need to do
high
the maths.
contact. High contact. I think that's reckless more than negligent.
Yep.
2 or 3.
Yep.
Stephen out of the middle. Inside the forward 50, Langdon. Ample time to pick it up. Young, not so much time. This is Beams. Looks down the line. Pulls it back towards the middle. Juggled mark down there. Almost held by Delaney. Onto the loose ball is Hayes to Newnes. Newnes under pressure, but a well-directed kick. And a powerful one to Curran. He's at right half back. The solo closes. Curran kicks it up towards the wing. Dunstan in front. Reaching up the top was Young. McCaffer. Nicely done. Goes in short. And the mark is taken by Elliott. Gives it back to Thomas. Thomas's kick ill-directed. Attracted by the movement that time to the wrong spot. Goldsack having a good year. Having a good moment, although eventually weight of numbers told the story. Dempster bounces one towards Ross. Knocked away by Beams. Beams is at right half forward. Good-looking kick, that one. Oh, and a strong mark by Elliott now, and no free kick. Appear to be bumped in the back. Newnes comes away, kicks close to the boundary line. In fact, too close. It floats out of bounds on the full.
Just quickly, Seatsman's taken the vest off too, so Maxwell may be done for the night. Looks like he's actually done for the night. We'll find out what the injury is.
So what an eventful opening term. So Thomas off a step to half forward. Gee, that's a good mark. Not paid to Beams. Murdoch getting a lot of it early and kicking the ball well and finds Ross. So Tim, looks like Maxwell's gone, is he? So Seatsman on, eh?
He's definitely done for the night, yes. And it may be a hamstring or a calf, but we'll just get that confirmed.
Good kick from Ross. Montagna used the run of Stephen. Stephen going well, and on the left side gives Revolt a chance. Gee, that's good hands, isn't it?
Great timing. Yeah. Great timing of the leap.
And then sets it up to full forward. And Ray is going to kick a goal. He talked about going forward in the countdown tonight and hitting the board. Well, Nick Revolt's value just there, eh? To take a contested mark like that and then to open it up. And this is not the start we expected, but I think we're all pretty happy about it, don't you? The fact that it's a contest.
Absolutely. I mean, they're just butchering the ball forward, Collingwood. Just not playing any precision going into their forward 50. Just can't find the targets, and St Kilda just rebounding out of that congested area.
Fourth man taken in the 03 draft by Western Bulldogs. Swapped in 08 for pick 31, which became Jordan Roughhead. He's been a good player, much maligned at times, but he's worked hard in difficult circumstances in the last couple of seasons. Here's Seedsman on the ground as the sub. A late inclusion earlier tonight. No Swan, no Grundy. Side bottom. Beautiful stuff. White had an interesting week last week. Got the first goal of the game, then didn't get a possession until late in the third term after that. Gee, that's a nice kick on the turn from side bottom. He may have a bit of time to practice in the next few weeks. Jesse White then working tonight in tandem with Witts. It's working back nicely, puts it through. Collingwood get their second goal. They trail by 5.
It's a good opportunity for Jesse White. When he really hit his straps at Sydney, it was in this exact role as the genuine second ruckman.
Do you fancy him as a second ruckman, Tom?
Sorry?
Do you fancy him as a second ruckman? Can he actually be a forward who can just do his quarter of the game as the second ruckman?
Look, I think that's probably his best go. He seems to work his way around the park pretty well. I don't think he's a number 1 ruckman. He's not a number 1 forward, so
yeah.
So he has to be that sort of second in both.
Well, you can see Nick Maxwell in the middle of the screen there. The ice is on his right calf, so he's done for the night, probably for 3 or 4 weeks too. And it's interesting, their backline is very inexperienced, and they will miss that General Maxwell out there tonight.
So that's the Maxwell situation. So thanks, Tim. Now Young out of the centre. That's a really high kick out wide, just buying some time there. The Saints were able to get back and belt the ball over the line.
I wonder if they'll think of putting O'Brien as part of that back 6 for that reason, just to try and get a bit more experience in that part of the ground.
Lumumba.
Yeah, Lumumba,
Yep.
sorry, yeah.
He's played so well there in the past, hasn't he?
Year.
Yeah. Schneider. Montagna only as far as Williams.
O'Brien was a halfback flanker. Lumumba's a midfielder.
Against the Saints in the grand final, though. A couple of them.
Explain that for those who don't follow the footy.
And Thomas getting it home. So the Pies hit back.
It's started to get some reward for effort, just the last couple of inside 50 entries. I mean, they had plenty early, but just couldn't score. And St Kilda got them on the rebound.
Well, here's some better news for Sidebottom, because it looks like Weller has had the concussion test. He's taken the red vest off now, and it looks like he's going to recommence playing. So in terms of the damage to him, which will actually work in the favour of Sidebottom, looks like he's going to start playing again.
So Collingwood lead it by a point. There's Maverick Weller. Now that's a name. Rucks go at it. On the way down Longer, backhanded it down. Comes back towards him. He's held without it. He'll get the free kick, the big fella. Wants to go and does. Gets it across to Ross. Beats one. A classy 1-2 in Pendlebury. Goes down a half forward and Jones. Jones to Hayes to the pocket. That very high was Revolt. Couldn't bring it in. Did well to touch it. Scramble just inside the boundary line. Hayes, it trickled out behind him. Stolen away by Tuvey. Under pressure. Bounces obligingly for White now. It opens up the gut. Away goes Pendlebury. Nobody inside the forward 50, so he delays it. Now he comes to Beams. Over the top to White. Should be a goal, White. He can go again. Does. Not so good. Blair, who booted 3 last week, knows where they are. And he kicks a goal. Well, good build-up. And that time, the Saints with nobody back took the risk, pulling it back through the middle, but then it opened right up for them. Not the best of hand passes from White, but Blair getting on the end of it. Geez, good little player.
And Tuvey's ability to win that ball at half-back was just so important. Yeah, he's good, Dennis, all right. As you said, 3 last week. Can find a goal.
The numbers going forward, Colin, that's when it's just, can you make the right option to maintain possession on the way through? You had the extra number coming through, so Collingwood fought their way through really well.
So the Pies by 7 points have had a good 5 minutes here after the Saints had their noses in front, which can't quite get it out. Just held up Longer. Dunstan. Curran, I should say, not Dunstan. Curran and the ball up. Curran with a run with roll.
Straight back.
He's had a good year. Longer's impressive for a guy that hasn't played a lot. He's getting a real crack. Montagna, Ray. Longer trying to burst his way through. Thomas coughed it up. Stephen gets it from Hayes. Stephen running hard, pushed underneath it. Stanley. Bull with a chance here. Rolling. Oh, Jack Frost got back. Had a little fumble, Jack, but it didn't matter.
Showed some good toe there, Jack Frost, which is obviously a key attribute for a full-back.
There's something when Long has played 13 games and Wicks has played 14, and they're the first ruckman in an AFL game. They're very inexperienced, aren't they, for those to be playing that role?
Williams did well. And Beams on the outer side. It's a bad crowd either. Most of them Collingwood supporters tonight, but probably around 45,000, I'd suggest. Short one comes to Pendlebury. The skipper back towards the middle. Witts, runners alongside, decides to kick it instead. Moments ago, this man kicked it in. He's not missed a game, Langdon. Goes down towards half forward. It's going to be a free kick to Fasolo. He's spending time backwards and forwards. Here's Weller.
Put the best back on.
Yeah. So news ebbing and flowing as far as side bottom's concerned. Shenton towards the pocket. Oh, Montagna ran into a man who was trying to assist him, Bruce, and eventually stumbles across the boundary line.
He looks gone now for the night, Matt Weller. So he took it off. It looked like he was coming back on. Now he's off again, so he's done for the night. And it hasn't affected side bottom, even though he got...
So both subs activated, and Fasolo kicks his second goal of the opening term. So, as Dennis said, back for a lot of this year. I mean, he's had a patchy year with the injury, now forcing his way in. Kicked a goal last week, an important one, and now forward tonight. He is a goal kicker. I think he kicked 28 goals a couple of years back. And he was able to scramble this one home.
Just keeping the ball alive. He just weren't quite desperate enough to knock the ball through then. St Kilda, and if you keep the ball alive in there.
You watch young Jack Nunes there, number 16 for the Saints. This is a learning process for the young team. Just needs to work harder to get goal side on a play like Fasolo.
Shenton had to really just dive at the ball and just do everything he could just to get it over the line.
Margin out to 12 points then, approaching quarter time on Friday Night Football. White with the judgment that time. Hayes, quick hands away. Stephen in trouble. Under pressure, the kick comes down towards half forward. It's Murdoch again. He's found a lot of the football swinging around and sending it into that forward line deep. Is Sipos getting back. Seedsman jams it on the boot. Bounces outside the 50. Taken by Adams. Adams sends it beyond centre. Coming up on the lead, Cloak. To the run of Pendlebury. Again, a very open forward line. Touched off the boot. Enough to make Bruce drop it down there. The call from the umpire. Buttering up is Shenton. He was in trouble. In goes Delaney. Eventually flicks it across towards Murdoch. Over the football now is Bruce. Tackled from behind by side bottom. Heard a voice. Looked up. Saw Pendlebury. Ignored him. And that was a good choice, as he swings it back to the middle, and Fasolo will line up at his third.
Going to have to be good tonight, side bottom, not because of the report, but because Swan's out, and he has been. He and Beans have been very good, and Pendlebury, the three of them are all in good touch to make up for one of their group being missing.
Lee, being reported hasn't affected him at all. He's had 10 possessions already. He's going at 100%.
It's everybody on the ground. Dunstan, I think, is next best from the Saints with 8. This Fasolo, meantime, this is telling. 3 goals in the opening term, and suddenly Collingwood skip away.
It really shows the maturity of still side bottom. No doubt he would be thinking about what he did in the first couple of seconds, but he's been able to park that.
I think what he'd actually be thinking is, what do I do that for? Yeah, because he just kind of, what happened, the body of Weller really was going to bypass his body, and he just hung his elbow out of fractions. One of those things, he did it instinctively, and immediately you'd say, oh, what did I do that for? And it is likely to cost him some weeks.
So this is now Collingwood's biggest opening term for the season. What about Fasolo? 3 first-quarter goals.
It's got value for their work now, Collingwood. I mean, they were a couple of goals behind after they'd been much the better team, but now they've kicked the last 5 goals and got the break.
Wide and longer. Adams doing some good work. And that was Thomas to Adams, I should say, and then to full forward. Getting those mixed up tonight. Getting back. McCaffer. Shenton, little kick. Dunstan trying to break McCaffer, can't quite. Cloak trying to get involved. Nunes down there. Cloak brings him down. And that ball not out. What happens now? Ball up. Good tackle from Cloak on Nunes. So Collingwood's had a really strong 10 minutes here, getting towards quarter time.
Dangerous situation for the Saints. White knocks it towards the boundary line.
To most is it Weller was on Pendlebury. Well, he's off, so there's the sub Jones has now got the tag
straight to
roll.
him.
It's a direct swap.
He can't plan that.
That's his job, though, isn't it, normally?
Yeah,
So
it
they
is.
don't lose much, if anything. But, of course, I think Richardson intend on trying to teach players a few new roles as well and just mixing things up. So Jones expendable to start with, but now out in the ground. Pendlebury has 8 possessions alongside his name. Dunstan has 9 now. Gives it across to Nunes. Untidy kick coming out. Spills forward. Runs away from Murdoch. Brilliant pickup by Blair. Right on the numbers. Lays it off. His side bottom again. Just massing those possessions. Sends a high ball in. Longer had to wait. Off hands. A chance there for Thomas. Hit the pack hard. In goes Hayes. There's the siren. The whistle beat the siren. Is there a free kick? There is for a high tackle. This will be interesting as to who gets it. Means nothing to St Kilda. Means plenty, as it turns out. It will be taken by Thomas. I did hear the whistle before the siren.
One on the mark, please. One on the mark, thanks.
I'd like a second opinion, though. I don't trust myself too much. Lee?
Well, the umpire's made the call. He's the one in charge.
So he and I were wrong. Wait for this kick from Thomas. Real chance for him, and he's grasped it in both hands so far. He's been very busy and kicks a goal on the siren. So Collingwood stretch it now. They're up by 24. Thomas has booted 2. The Solo's got 3, and that's the story. Suddenly, they've translated it to the scoreboard. No doubting that.
I think the point is, if the umpire pays a free kick, out before the siren, the whistle might come slightly after the siren, but he still paid the free kick. So I don't think it's the siren or the whistle has to be before the siren necessarily.
Quarter time, Friday night football. Collingwood rolling for the first break. 7-2, 3-2.
They kicked the last 5 goals there. Revolt's been a pretty good, Nick.
Yeah.
Every time he's gone near it, he's looked better than even money
Well,
chance.
his judgment in the air is looking just exceptional, isn't it? He's getting the ball at the highest point, full reach, full leap. And he's looking really good, really a good touch.
Second term, Etihad Stadium, Friday night football. Witt's on the way down decisively. Beams, high up and under. Umpire call play on. Bounces on its point, back to Longer. Did nicely. Billings in trouble, upended. Thomas been very good. Seedsman sends it inside to forward 50. Did he mark it? Yes, he did. Oh, it's taken a while. Travers Cloak. Can he uncork the genie tonight?
Did a good job to hold his position on Delaney. The ball went the right side. One thing, if the midfielder up forward, you have to kick the ball to the advantage side of your forward, give him front possession, and then he's got the better than 50-50 chance of being able to get to the ball first.
I think his dad would have applauded that kick. So Travis Cloak puts it through. A roar and a sigh of relief mingle at Etihad Stadium.
Good service, you reckon, Dene, from the midfield?
Apparently, yes, that's what was lacking.
It's a good mark, and
That was.
it's great to see him nail the goal. And you just saw that it meant a fair bit to him and his teammates, didn't it? I mean, it's not so much the fact that Collingwood have been pressured on the scoreboard, it's more about the fact that he's off the mark tonight. Let's hope that he has a good night. He's a great player.
Time you jump, guys.
So he's been missing a few set shots, we know that, but
Got the first run, nice and relaxed,
nailed
kick
it.
through the footy.
So pleased, and a terrific reaction to him. So Collingwood really dominating now. They've been impressive. Hayes out at the centre, barreling the ball forward. Frost and Revolt, good contest there. Nick able to get in there and force the ball to the line, and a boundary throw in. Revolt, goal in the opening term. First goal for the Saints. Malira and Ray also hit the board there. For Solo with his 3, and Thomas a couple for Collingwood in that first quarter. Witt's won it. Gee, Thomas has been so good. He came in tonight with Seedsman for Swan, and also Grundy, who dropped out. Mark taken by, well, good name this fella. So Bruce out wide. Gets to Delaney.
Delaney told him played on, so he goes back to Bruce. Similar hairstyle to Grundy, who's missing for the Magpies. Under pressure, but ball got there okay. This is Dempster. Looks towards the wing. High ball in that direction. Stanley in front. Keefe too easy. Reaches over the top. Pendlebury along the boundary line. McCaffer used him as a decoy. Goes inside the forward 50. White this time. So can they go back to back? It's almost the identical position from which Cloak kicked his goal. And now White will line up from about 35 metres out.
They defended really well early, that St Kilda defence. We know they're young, inexperienced. We were talking about that, Dennis, when we were having a look at their team. Dempster's the only player that's got any experience at all, but all of a sudden now the Collingwood forward 50 targets are getting clear.
Yep. Spells danger. Suddenly the margin could be 36 points. It's happened quickly because St Kilda were holding their own midway through that last term, but now White gets his second.
They're human footballers, and you wonder, he must be wondering about Sydney's forward line right now and how they're going. I mean, you'd be thinking about it. He's happy at Collingwood. He's doing well.
I think he'd be thinking I'd be playing in the Neefle. I don't think he'd be playing in the Swans forward line, Macca. So he's very happy he's at Collingwood.
That's exactly what I was sort of getting at, Lee, but you sort of crunched it.
Just watching Josh Bruce, their young player from Canberra, from the Giants, just got lost, took his eyes off the ball and his players. He'll learn from that. And Jesse White, he plays his best footy when he's the second ruck and second forward, so he'll actually, in a funny sort of way, relish Brodie Grundy not being out there.
So Collingwood, 1 goal from their first 12 entries and now 8 from their last 11, which is quite remarkable. Good tackle that time by Bruce. So, Lee, you talked earlier about getting value for money. Their last 11 entries have had 8 goals.
Yeah, there was the opposite, wasn't it, for those first...
Yeah, 1 out of 12, so Sipos was off. He's got a good leg, Sipos, but he's put himself into an awkward position, but then he uses that strength through the kicking to half forward. Stanley and Keefe belting it away. Schneider sweeps it to Revolt. Revolt on the left foot, run down by Frosty is quick. And Seedsman cutting off the handball coming from Billings. And then Keefe out wide. Adams drawing the man to him. That's good stuff. And Collingwood with plenty of run, and that's what Seedsman does so well. First game at this level this year.
Good use.
Yeah, squares it to Pendlebury.
Langdon pushing through midfield now into Mines vacant. Goal square enticed him. Will it run on? No, it pulls up. Skidded back on itself and pushed across the line. He wanted the run. It didn't come that time.
It's easy to forget about players when we don't see them for a long period of time. But Seaman's really important to Collingwood. Uses the ball exceptionally well off half-back, and just the fact he could bring it through the corridor like that, set up that play with Tom Langdon.
He's just a natural runner, isn't he?
Yeah, beautiful kick.
As Bruce drives it towards the outer side bottom on report. The ball spills off he and Delaney and goes across the boundary line. Interesting, sometimes games like this are a barometer about a team and how they come into it. Collingwood a slow start, but not the players who are trying to get a game. Players like Thomas, they've been on fire from the start. Pendlebury, Sipos on his knees. Adams did well, smothered the hand pass. Sipos comes again. Adams lays the tackle. And the umpire wants it. Umpire Donlan, vastly experienced. Margin is 37 points, and Kilda need to tread warily now. Longer hooks it down behind. Billings kicks towards half forward. Revolt gathered it nicely.
Gee, did Dennis, and then Sipos able to get it across. Wins his kick forward. Stanley's big fly against Keefe, and there's Seedsman again getting back, and a boundary throw in. It's a night that if you do come into the team and really play well, you're hard to take out, aren't you?
That's right.
You can really consolidate yourself, and Thomas has been terrific. Adams pretty good, and we've seen Seedsman in action, who came on a lot earlier than he expected. Maxwell gone, of course, with a calf. Weller, we know, out with some concussion. So the subs activated early. Schneider and Jones put the tackle on Pendlebury, and a ball up.
Just tells you about the feel, Bruce, of the team sometimes. The experienced guys, those that get a regular game, feel quite comfortable. Slow starters, but guys like Thomas, they're desperate for a game.
For sure. Schneider trying to get through. Schneider, one of 6 30-year-old pluses tonight for the Saints. Maxwell, the only 30-year-old who started tonight for Collingwood.
Langdon gave it to Young. Missed by Goldsack. Goldsack butters up again, in trouble, waiting for him, Nunes. Ball wedged in there, trying to wrench it away as Murdoch. Willie Mistouvi, and the umpire just lets them play. Well, I suppose that's okay. Lumumba, little 1-2 with McCaffer. Back to McCaffer. Off his step, just prods it forward, taken by Goldsack. Sweeps it inside. There's Adams, lowers the eyes. What a pass, what a mark. Now the umpire says it skimmed off the turf. That will be interesting. Elliott looking back over his shoulder. He wants a piece of the umpire, Umpire Donlan. Let's watch it again. I would have paid that. I would have paid it.
I would have paid it.
I would have paid it. Knock wide of the pack. Side bottom went to ground. Ray socketed out. Dunstan stood up in the tackle, taken down by Beams.
What a player he is, Beams. 100th game last week. He won 72 of those 100 games. Pretty good strike rate. Not quite Geelong-like, but pretty good. Side bottom, Beams. Young caught on the wrong side. Back to Beams. About 60 metres from goal. Hooks the ball high. Bruce goes and takes a good mark. Do you know much about him, Tom?
Yeah, he grew up in Canberra, went to Canberra Grammar, and was one of his own concession picks for the Giants, and struggled to get a spot there regularly. Saw an opportunity at St Kilda, a purpose selection for them. You know, playing on key position players is the way he's going to learn, but just a bit off it at this stage, I think.
Tom's amazing, just without any notes, rattles off their pedigree, probably has his phone number as well. Boundary throw in. Adams, Williams squeezes a kick out, too much carry on it though. Back goes Murdoch, coming across his bow is Cloak, didn't get there in time. Murdoch, Cloak did well, good pressure, but 2 beats 1. Delaney, short. Ray, Bruce, up towards the wing. Langdon making his own arrangements back there, lays the hand pass off, side bottom. Ditto across the ground. Lumumba thought about going, lays it off instead. The hand pass to Young. Young in characteristic fashion, down towards half forward. Outnumbered is Blair, really worries him. Little 1-2 with McCaffer. Not a good kick though. Directly to 2 Saints. And we deduce from that Murdoch is a better mark than the guy he went up with. Dunstan, I think it was. Short one comes across to Nunes.
Been pretty good, Murdoch. First game this season, played a bit last year. Good user. Saints just can't hit the board, can they, at the moment? Just too tall for long on a boundary throw-in. So they've been stuck on 3 goals for a long stretch now, St Kilda. Longer, we've talked a bit about him, a youngster, high draft pick for the Lions. Pendlebury, and there's Swanee right in the middle there, not playing tonight, just some soreness down low on the leg, and he and Grundy, the 2 out. Nunes, good stuff. Montagna looks up, and well done by Young. Stanley and Keefe were approaching, and Young cut across the bows and took them, belted it over the line. There's Swanee. We talked about the fact he's only missed 8 games of the last 220 that Collingwood have played, so he's been resilient. Ross gets it from Hayes.
60 metres out, not a particularly good kick. Revolt forced to spoil. I think they spied Tarkin Lockyer in that shot of the crowd as well. Speedy customer in bygone days. 37 points the margin. Magpies on top. Knocked down by White. Jones, clever by White. Deft deflection. Beams gives it across towards Williams. Interesting kick, Williams. Dunstan played well. The South Australian kicks to the pocket, giving Revolt a 1-out opportunity. Frost played it very well to Keefe. Now the running machine comes straight up the middle. Lumumba decides to release it. Did that prematurely. White. As a result, they lose a little momentum. Eventually, Beams comes out wide, finds Cloak. Cloak thinks about the man in short, gives it to him now. That's Thomas. But they've been forced very wide here. Lumumba perhaps would have been better advised to storm up the middle of the ground.
Getting the spare man back, so when Collingwood look up, they're outnumbered. So just holds the game up for this period of time, because Collingwood are going to be the same down their end. So very hard to get through and score.
Gee, Frost had a bit on that. He really might have missed the lot there. Langdon, it's good defender, Frost. He just overkicked that one, and a boundary throw in.
It's a good result there for St Kilda. As well as they defended that, they actually left Marley Williams in the middle of the ground and just needed a dinky kick over the top from Frost, and they're away again, the Pies.
So White getting to the front of Stanley and trying to give it off. Still not tackled. Well done. Here is Marley Williams. And then Adams switching it to Thomas, to Seedsman. Now, Seedsman might kick a goal here. He's got a good leg. He gets inside 50. And yes!
I think the goal umpire's going to think about a goal.
Score review. Umpire's call is touched. Please confirm.
Look touched.
Much else. Just
That's where you need the camera in the goal post across the line, don't you? Otherwise, it's very hard to be certain to go against the goal umpire.
Well, looks like he touches it there, and his foot doesn't cross the line till there. Umpire's call.
Not position A for the goal up, though, was it?
Umpire's call.
touched all clear. Right to go.
Seems you got it right there. That's terrific. Murdoch liked his game. Slight miscue. Drives it short of the wing. Lumumba coming back, gives away the free kick.
Hey, to him.
Farron
Stay
Ray.
there. Time back on.
Montagna, forward of half back. Nice kick. Over the congestion. Stanley sweeps it. Dunstan, Billings, runs inside the 50. Much vaunted youngster, but not a good kick. Right across the face. Malira gets on the end of it. Doesn't stop thinking, goes short to Revolt. Well, the Collingwood defenders simply lost track of him. And Revolt and Malira very much on the same page.
Yeah, you always should be looking inside from there. Very good team play. Looked inside, open up the angle if there's a pleasant teammate on. And Revolt knew exactly what he'd be looking for. Gave him the option.
Going at his second here. Margin stands at 38. Pretty important kick. That's nice. Fourth goal to the Saints.
Gee, Wayne, 21 goals, 6 from set shots. Now, over the years, he started off as a great kicker, then he had yips. He's kicking beautifully, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't look like missing at the moment, does he? And it's a really settled run-up. I know he's tried a few different things over the years, but now it's just 3 or 4 steps, gets balanced, and has really good penetration through the footy.
So the Saints get to 4, which Nick's got 2. Duck, what about this kicking action?
Yeah, well, he's really settled now, isn't he, Bruce? It's not a long run-up like he used to have. It's 2 or 3 steps and then really good follow through the footy.
And the evidence, 21 goals, 6 from set shots this year is a fantastic return. So 2 to Revolt, still a 5-goal game. Collingwood dominating from about halfway through that opening term. Jack Stephen out of the centre, just a wobbly kick, really hard here. Billings, we saw a moment ago, getting the ball forward to Malira and a boundary throw in. So Langdon and Billings, 2 of the young guns. Langdon, the last time he was on Friday Night Football, was the Rising Star nomination. And of course, Dunstan was the very first Rising Star nomination for this year in round 1.
White's hand pass intended for Thomas. Curran charges in. Stephen trying to charge out. Long as over the football at close quarters. Dunstan's been good. Ross sweeping hand pass. Nunes in space. Goes across the ground. Montagna. Not often you see that. He was off balance. He couldn't have done much with it anyway. Cleared him and ran away and out of bounds. Such a good player for such a long time. 16 votes in the Brownlow last season.
I hate it when players are in the centre square and they go outside the centre square. I reckon once you're in the centre square, your forward lines open up. Just because there's a player free on the wing, you don't have to use him.
White over the football, just forcing it forward. Down goes Thomas. Stephen in the grasp. Jones close to the boundary line. Around the corner goes the kick. Virtually stopped. Lumumba. Beams. Nobody there apart from Shenton.
And then Shenton to Schneider. He's had a frustrating run, Schneider. What a fine player he's been over the years. To his old Sydney Swans premiership teammate, And Dempster to fall forward or deep to the pocket. Revolt with him there, Tuvey. So not sure if that was just for the moment. It probably is Langdon. Young. And then Young controls it. Schneider on Seedsman, back to Young, some good run there. Beautiful kick. Gee, that's great delivery to Cloak. And then Cloak just waiting for the troops to get back. He's going to use Witts. So St Kilda getting back in numbers. Have had the extra man back. Witts maybe waiting for Cloak now to get into some sort of a position. And he does set it up, and that's not a good kick.
Yeah, neither Cloak came forward, he just kicked it back over his head.
There's Curran. Opposite pocket, Shenton. Stephen. There's a man on towards the wing, it's Billings. Can he get it there? He does. Billings wants somebody to come at him now. Goes down the line, telling his skipper what to do, and his skipper obliges. Revolt. 26 goals on the season now, 2 tonight. It bounced in front of Stanley, who thinks he marked it, so suddenly it becomes a debating society, and the ball rolls out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. We'll see that again as well. Tommy, you were right last time. What do you think about this one?
We'll have to have another look then.
So 15 minutes since the Collingwood goal, so at least the Saints have stopped the onslaught for a while. Well done, Pendlebury. Gets to McCaffer. Cloak, couple to beat. He stood up well. Goldsack keeps the ball in, but maybe to the disadvantage in the end. Shenton, Montagna, Schneider, good tackle. Goldsack, he's good at that. Thomas was first one down and in. Still with Thomas. Schneider with him. Sort of tunnel balled at Schneider. Curran toe poking towards Ross and a boundary throw in.
Collingwood have largely got the extra player around the stoppage, and St Kilda got the extra player in their back third. I reckon if Collingwood are dominating in most parts of the ground, I'd be actually getting even numbers forward of the ball for Collingwood, rather than allowing St Kilda just to hold them up there.
Hayes did very well. Ross take it high. Well,
against the capper. Stevens free kick.
so Stephen is getting a free kick. What's Lenny doing? He wants the footy, but it's not his to have. Jack Stephen held by McCaffer. So that's his role tonight. Not to hold him and give away a free kick, but stay with him. Here's Delaney. Nunes pushes from half back, kicks long. That's a telling kick. Well, too long for Revolt, too long for the pack. First back is Langdon. Having a big night now, goes to Pendlebury. Hooks it around the boundary. Stayed with the curve. In trouble is Shenton. Seedsman gets him down. And the umpire will ball it up about 5 metres in from the boundary.
Yeah, the Nunes kick was just too strong, wasn't it? Beat everybody. So St Kilda holding Collingwood for the moment. They're 5 goals behind, though. So much damage done late in the first quarter and early in this term. Montagna taken down. Quick hands from Nunes, and then Jones, who's the sub on, of course, for Weller. Langdon, so good to Tuvey. Good stuff, though, by Schneider. And then Malera to Montagna. He's got a good leg, Joey. Kicks to full forward. Revolt held on to surely.
Amazing how that happens. Malliot is get back in defence helping out, and somehow or other he gets the one-on-one match-up on Reroll. You think, I don't know how Frost wasn't as if it was a quick read.
No, and the ball was obviously in there for a long time. There was a beautiful kick in from Joey Montagna.
Well, he shouldn't miss. He's been kicking so accurately. Wayne Carey talking about the fact not much of a run-up. Oh, is he squeezed at home? He does. So he's kicked 3, Revolt. That's a big effort. Well, you've got him in your top 7, Lee, and when they started losing, I think we were all starting to think, well, does he stay in your top 7? But his influence in the first 5 weeks was quite remarkable this year.
Yeah, well, the first 5 probably more than the last few, but certainly tonight has been a shining light for St Kilda. But his first month of the year was just
Wonderful.
vintage.
Absolutely brilliant.
Vintage Revolt.
If they were a really top 4 team right now, you'd think, God, he'd be doing some damage, wouldn't he? Because he's winning so many one-on-ones.
It's just his work rate again. And where is Frost? You'd reckon with the ball, even Keith there, with the ball being up in the air for as long, should have been able to give Jamie Elliott a chop out there.
This has been a good 15 minutes for the Saints. They're fighting back strongly. Down goes Stephen. Ball's not coming out. Or is it? It's going to be a free kick, so it comes out via a free.
Straight up, thanks.
We've got a Collingwood Adams darts away. Malera got him. Oh, terrific quick thinking by Malera. Ran him down. Saints now with an open forward line. They go the other way. Inside that forward 50 from Ross. Reaching over the top. Keith knocked it down. Montagna in trouble. Dragged down. Elliott, a loose ball win. Gives it across towards Young under pressure. Met by Hayes. Kick comes off the outside of his boot. Witts is tracking it. Nothing much upfield for him. Witts hard against the boundary line. Just prods it in the direction of Blair. Gathers it nicely. The runners come now. Williams in the grass. Plays it off. Seedsman. There's a long kick. Sends it down towards Cloak. Similar situation to what we saw at the other end. No free kick though. That's okay. Delaney did well. Bruce sold a teammate into trouble. Dempster's taken to the ground by Fasolo. And the umpire whistles it up 15 metres out. We'll have a ball up.
Great call, Dan. It was frantic stuff, wasn't it? Collingwood on the burst there. The Saints desperate in defence. If they can hold here, St Kilda, they've given themselves a chance in the second half. Ross and Pendlebury, Nunes, Dunstan, and I think that ball was out and a boundary throw in. So no Collingwood goal now for what, about 18, 19 minutes, I think. So
just required just a bit of polish. St Kilda at the moment. A couple of times when they've had a chance to have a clean possession, it's been a slight fumble and haven't been able to clear the area. But the effort and intensity is there, Bruce, no doubt.
For sure. So they kicked 3 of the first 5, and then Collingwood went on an onslaught. And they kicked 7 consecutive goals, but Saints with the last couple. Well done, Schneider, to get it from Pendlebury. Thomas, Beams ridden into the ground. It was the Ray tackle, and then Nunes and Thomas fighting for the footy, and that one's still not out, and the ball up. So you feel like St Kilda are in for the fight at the moment, which is great. Of course, both the subs came on early. A sensation to the start of this game. And still side bottom being reported. And Maverick Weller from the ground. So Ross trying to elude the tackle. Ray hooking it back. Stanley and Keefe. Ball coming out the back. Revolt had eluded him.
Oh.
Langdon so impressive. Head over the ball. Seedsman.
Does nicely. Plays it off to Thomas. Back to Seedsman. In trouble. Lumumba under pressure. Witts created his own space down towards full forward. Doing well, Blair. Got a hand to it. Upset things. It's chaos for a moment. The beneficiary of that is Fasolo, who snaps and kicks a wonderful goal. He's got 4 in the first half. Sometimes when the unexpected happens, good things flow.
You know, remember last week when Nick Maxwell was very forceful in his leadership, his on-field generalship, when he made a defensive error. Well, he's no defensive errors tonight. He's down the other end and just keeps getting on the end of them.
He looks like a natural half forward, doesn't he? Loves the sense of a goal. He hasn't spent any time in the defensive 50, so, and Maxie's not out there at the moment, so he's probably feeling pretty good about life.
He's really very relaxed.
Yeah.
He's just a great snapper, isn't he?
Yeah, 4 goals, a great return.
Tim, Jesse White, is there a problem?
Yeah, there is at the moment. They're operating with just the 2 interchange players at the moment, Collingwood. He went downstairs with the medico. He's been there for 5 minutes now. It looked like it might have been a hand injury.
Thanks, Tim. So Fasolo with 4 first-half goals. Kicked 5 against Essendon in 2011. That's the only other time he's got more than 3. Stephen running hard. That's not a good kick. He had Revolt coming at him and a boundary throwing, so just missed the target. So going down the track, I mean, we know that Maxwell's injured, White at the moment, so side bottom's probably going to be out for a bit. So bits and pieces here as the season unfolds. Longer took it out of the air. He was caught by Pendlebury. Lumumba, well played. Heredia getting the ball away. Langdon, just his first year has been brilliant. Number 65 in the draft. Elliott and Murdoch. Murdoch's had a good night, a really good night.
That was wonderfully done. Just the nudge at the right time. Here's Sipos. No surprises going forward generally for the Saints tonight. Revolt's in good form, and they're going to him almost every time. High ball out very wide. Revolt is a kick deeper. Stanley has marked that one with his knees. Interesting with Nick. 3 goals tonight. He stands at 597 for his career. A fortnight ago, Pat got to 600. And last night, Buddy Franklin did the same thing. Jumping over that milestone. There goes Stanley. Trying to jump. Revolt in the front. Longer almost. to the ground behind the pack. It's Wets. Langdon on the boundary line, just skirts that boundary line and gives it to Keefe. So Langdon is up to 13 possessions now. As Bruce said, pick 65 in the draft. I think he was third last after missing out the previous year. Hasn't he made the most of it? Here's Cloak. Things are getting better for him. Okay, we've got a foot race back. They like Goldsack. Goldsack, the boy in black and white. No, he missed it. Left it behind. Dempster arrives. Cool head Dempster. Good player. Comes to Ray.
And a good kick. Gee, Bruce did well, though, because Goldsack had him for pace, but he refused to give it up and enabled Dempster to be the third man in. So Ray wants Revolt. Gee, they ask a lot of the captain. It's a poor kick. Lumumba, well done. Lovely kick inside. Thomas, Pendlebury, Adams arches his back. Oh. And that was a real opportunity for the youngster.
Rushed himself.
Yep.
It's that the side of the goals, the spacing between him and the goals, he just needed to take 2 or 3 balancing steps.
The irony about Langdon is that of the 13 top picks in the draft last year, only 2 haven't played, and they're both from Collingwood. Scharenberg and Freeman, they were taken at 6 and 10, and they're the only 2 of the absolute elite in terms of number that haven't actually made a debut so far. So they've got all that to look forward to, Collingwood, and they've got a bonus with Langdon, haven't they?
I'll say. Both of those guys injured, aren't they? So
Freeman's nearly back and Scharenberg's had that foot.
Yeah, well, that happened pre-season to Freeman. There goes the kick from Thomas to the opposite pocket. In front, Shenton, at least initially, trying to step past him side bottom. Shenton's done okay. Mature age player to the pocket. Montagna looks up towards the wing. Demands something of his teammate there. Ross had it knocked away. Well done, Lumumba. 2v2 wide. Out of bounds on the full. Clock running down to halftime. Just 23 seconds to go. The margin was 24 at quarter time. It got out to about 38 in this term. But full credit to St Kilda. They dug in for the fight. Dempster short of the wing. Oh, big leap down there by Langdon. He's feeling it, Bruce.
He makes really good decisions where he positions himself on the field when they've got the ball and goes to attack. He's invariably on the corridor side and uses the ball well, and when he's required to defend one-on-one, he defends.
You saw the effort that goes into Nick Revolt there a moment ago. He's physically ill. So he goes to the boundary line. Kick by Ross. Mark taken. Time not long. Sipos off a step. Hayes. Real chance here for Hayes. Well, I'm not sure if this is going to work out. Stephen, yes it does! Oh. World Cup, here we come, eh?
Stephen Gerrard.
That was something. What a way to finish the first half. Bucks looks on a little speechless for the moment. Lenny doing, as he always does, the team thing, and there you go. Just perfect contact, and Jack Stephen gets it home. And St Kilda have a little bit of momentum at half-time. So, interesting first half. A sensation to start with. Collingwood dominating, St Kilda digging in. Half-time on Friday Night Footy here. It's Collingwood 10-5 to St Kilda 6-2.
Scoring dries up, and they're better, I think, when they've got even numbers all over the field, Collingwood.
Revolt's been terrific. Nick Revolt, 3 goals to half-time. Ran himself into the ground. One off the lead in the Coleman. Jack Revolt, Tom Hawkins both have 28. Meantime, Pendlebury's got the football and taken down just outside the circles. Looks longingly at the umpire and gets his wish. A ball up. Those who have tuned in late, Swan and Grundy, late withdrawals for Collingwood. Reaching over the top, Witt's knocked it down. McCaffrey's got it. Tackled by the opposite number 3, Stephen, with assistance from Hayes, and another thrower.
Fundamentally a one-on-one game, but Lumumba's dropped back for Collingwood. Shenton, the free player for St Kilda, at the other end of the ground.
It was interesting, Tom, because Williams and Lumumba had a discussion about who'd go back. Just harking back a moment ago, the Alan Richardson interview, just loved the way he said, you know, believe we're a real chance, you know. I guess most coaches have to, but there was a real belief that they feel like they can make a run at Collingwood in this second half. Need to start well, obviously. 4-goal game at the moment. Stephen, his work rate's good. Side bottom, hassling him extremely well. Well done, Montagna, there to cut off the McCaffrey handball. There's a Lucy that talked about by Tom, the loose man in Lumumba, and then Williams. Lovely kick. beautifully placed and finds Young. Now, Young had Goldsack short. He's gone the long way for Solo. No free. Shenton, slow kick, and Young able to cut it. And a boundary throw.
It's been good tonight. Young is starting to get into a bit of form, obviously. Had a lot of soft tissue injuries, but uses the ball exceptionally well from half-back.
Value from his kicking, don't you?
Yep.
Tossed in. Witts knocks it down. Pendlebury had it, lost it. Witts has got it. They've got him. Thomas. Tackled before the ball arrived was Beams. He's getting a free kick for high contact, but whichever way you call it, a couple of free kicks back to back right there. Beams up to 15 possessions now, close to the lead on the ground. Thomas, man clatters into him. That's Nunes, and Thomas getting a free kick. And Saints fans not happy with that. And they made a bit of noise, so a few of them here tonight. Revolt in the air. Young runs around him. There's a couple of bounces, carries it up towards the wing. Penetrating kick inside the forward 50. White goes up, carried under the ball. Elliott lurking, and he kicks a goal. His first of the night. Well, he's been well held tonight, but he's an opportunist. That ball clearing the leading target. Ran onto it. He's pacey. He's a very difficult matchup in as much as we've all said before. He can really take a mark and he likes flying for them, but he's quick on the ground and can kick a goal. He's shown that a couple of bags of 5 in his career, and it's just beginning. He'll be around for a long time.
The goal was set up by Clinton Young. I mean, I reckon all the Collingwood players, if he can get the ball in his hands, and he did, ran for 20, 30 metres, and he's such a long, penetrating, low, flat kick. Really puts the defence under enormous pressure.
Into the square. Collingwood free kick.
So
it's a centre square infringement, Collingwood free kick.
I think someone pushed Marley Williams into the centre square, so a free kick to the pie. So in the last 15 metres of that Young run a moment ago was just fantastic. I mean, his speed over the ground, the kick to fall forward, cloak the target. Delaney's hurt himself, I think, there for Solo. Had a terrific opening half. Switches the handball. Beams back towards Blair. Delaney can't walk at the moment. He can put a tackle on. That was good stuff. And what happens now? What happens now? Holding the ball.
Just what a great way to endear yourself to your teammates. He's in all sorts of strife.
Watch this. He is absolutely in pain. He can hobble. Now he's got the ball down. He won't be able to kick it. He's
No.
So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to stay out there. So
And puts the shepherd on.
still struggling, isn't he? So Nunes had more than any other Saint in that opening term. That's a dangerous kick. Aritio did well. Amumba cut across Ray and then tries to fancy dance him. Can't quite. Blair switching it back. Young, well, he's got the distance. Gee, that is a weapon, isn't it? And there's Delaney. Young could be the icing on the cake with Collingwood, you know, if he could stand up.
At the time of the trade, it looked really good. He just hasn't been able to get on the park. You have Young repelling the ball from half-back and seats, but also gives you some weapons.
Shannon to himself, runs away. The outer side, that surely was interference. Lumumba, no free kick. Riley veteran Ray did brilliantly. Across to Montagna, goes along the boundary line. Stanley lowers the eyes. Revolt, the target comes at him. 3 goals alongside his name. To the pocket. Malera has done okay in a cameo role. Again, spots a man on the move. That had to be centimetre perfect. It wasn't quite. Well done by Williams. Wonderful stuff. Had a great year last year on debut. An off-season he'd rather forget, but he's getting back into top form again. That was very clever. This is Young. Spots Pendlebury. Now, there's a man off the interchange bench, but he's too far away to impact Pendlebury. Short one. Choice of 2, actually. Fasolo fell on top of the football. It's about 40 metres out from Collingwood's attacking goal. Tackle applied there by McCaffrey on Stephen.
I think someone's got to get hold of Young. He's a problem at the moment, isn't he?
He's had 14 possessions, 12 of those are kicks, Bruce, and he's getting the ball in the middle of the ground too, so spot on.
So White just wins the tap. Pendlebury got down low. Well done. Gets to Elliott. Elliott to full forward. Good contest here. course, no Delaney now for the moment.
It's a matter of which jumper hole do you want to see and pay first.
Play on, I think.
Play on.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a first clear one, I think you can pay that, but...
So Stanley dropping back there. Delaney with the injury. Cloak gets his second goal. So only once this year has he kicked more than 2 in a match. So he's up to 12 for the season. He's had an okay night. 4 shots on goal. So St Kilda now really with a problem down back, haven't they, with Delaney.
Massive weight of numbers, 41 inside 50s to 24. They're hanging on. Their tall defenders have been admirable tonight. Wayne, just looking, this is a new kicking technique, I think, for Travis Cloak. He's clearly thinking a lot about his footy, perhaps too much so.
Yeah, maybe, but he went back and kicked that one, and they're usually the more difficult ones for him from that distance.
Pendlebury attracts a crowd. Ross is in there with him. The umpire lets them play and eventually balls it up. So fortunate goal, but Cloak will take any that he can get right now. Obviously had a bit of a sleeper hold on Stanley. Dangerous practice. No one qualified to wake them up as the kick goes inside the forward 50. Mark is taken by Elliott. Slips a hand pass away. Blair down towards full forward. This could run on. It's still going. He'll be first to arrive. Well played, Stanley. Just coming across the path of Cloak and getting the ball out of bounds. Boundary throw in alongside the behind post. Cloak not happy about what went before, suggesting he was held. Margin is 40. Witts and Longer fell over, lurking at the back. Malera nowhere to go. Stealing the ball is Elliott. Was he taken high? Well, he was, but the umpire may suggest he ducked.
And I think you're right on both counts, Dan. It looked like it was certainly a high tackle, but he did duck into it, so no free kick paid. Witts, Pendlebury, Beams had to backtrack. He did really well, Beams, so well. McCaff had it smothered, so good stuff by the Saints. Hayes, Malera, Revolt in the back half. Murdoch, now he's got a good leg, Murdoch. Has he found it? Well, there you go. I mean, no St Kilda player really committed to going for it. Rather, Keefe was able to cut it off, and then Keefe with a really strong kick out wide. Young, his handball not as good as he kicking just for that moment. Side bottom off for step, bit lazy that one. Shenton cut it off. Now St Kilda with a chance. Shenton with a couple of bounces. Terrible handball behind Revolt. Back to Shenton. Shenton arches his back, runs hard, kicks to the pocket. That was better. The handball not good, but the kick was terrific to Hayes. And then Hayes switches back in, and St Kilda have done well. And it's in good hands now. Well, Schneider is going to give it up to Dunstan. What about Revolt? I mean, he's got his working hard. He was half-back centre wing a moment ago.
Covers some ground. Whenever he actually falls a little bit unbalanced, you can see him that he just tweaks his knee a little bit. That knee that's been a problem for him all the time. He seems to be able to run through it, but every now and again, you know, he's just got that physical issue that he's dealing with all the time with his knee.
From South Clarewood with West Torrens, he was 18 in the draft. He was the first of the rising stars after round 1, after they beat Melbourne this year. Good kick, so St Kilda get an important goal for them in the second half.
A couple of times now, Collingwood have switched off after the mark is taken in the pocket. And again there, too happy to sort of, I think, just remonstrate with themselves or a teammate and show their disgust and not pick somebody up. And it cost them a goal.
Yeah, they're really good teams, Dan, don't they? Put the foot on the throat. We saw it last night with the Swans over Geelong. And you reckon Bucks, you don't want to give them easy sort of confidence pills, young sides like this.
No. And Josh was telling me 4 marks inside the forward 50 there, contributing to that goal. That's world record pace, isn't it? And should be defended. Indicates there's a fair bit of time. One down by White, taken by Curran to half-forward. Revolt thought about it, didn't go. What a good decision. Just opted out of the contest. And the mark is taken by Billings, the smallest man on the ground, I'd suggest. He and Blair. No, he's got to go, Oh, no. Wonderful vision by the skipper. It's hard to say a bloke who just doesn't do anything did it well. That could have been a star. There goes the kick. Gunnerwood's full forward, and it's a very wayward kick out of bounds on the full.
So an 18-year-old took a mark over a 19-year-old there, eh?
Because he looks a boy, Jack Billings, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got such a fresh face, hasn't he? The kick wasn't as good as the mark, but it was a fine effort. Good stuff from the Saints there, Malera, but really well done by Thomas. Second effort. Adams, side bottom, just misses the target. Curran working back. Jones, a natural lefty. He came on, of course, early tonight for Weller. Stanley, Jones have had to retreat a long way here. Back to Dempster. Dempster with a switch to Bruce. Now Shenton very short, and he goes that way. So St Kilda with some poise there. And that's to Montagna. Working hard, Joey. We seen a lot of him tonight in the build-up. Stanley. Good kick to Curran. So their field kicking here has been pretty impressive. Curran switching back, and Hayes takes a strong mark in front of Young. So nice build-up by the Saints here.
Something about Friday night, Bruce. Clubs want to show their best. Hayes, the deceptive kick. Sipos couldn't take the mark. Dunstan has been good. Goes after the footy after the fumble. Ball up. They've really shown some pride tonight, the Saints. A lot to like about their performance. Still, a fair way to go. Longer reaches over the top. McCaffrey Shepherds. No one came to assist. Push in the back. It's high, I think. That's the call. So Jones gets a free.
Yeah, just a high contact there from Thomas.
Time back on. Right there.
See, they brought him 8 elements in half-time. Collingwood coming off a couple of 6-day breaks. St Kilda coming off the bye. They just might be able to run it stronger.
Jones inside the forward 50. Young, who's had a good turn, nabbed that time. They're being caught in possession at the moment. Frost is taken high and wins a free kick. Just going back to that last free kick, is that likely to see any more exposure, do you think? Bump to the head.
He certainly indicated that he was pulling out of the contest. Need another look again, Den.
Young goes short, finds Keith.
It's forensic analysis, these bumps these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like looking at grainy footage at the shopping mall, isn't it? We go through everything.
So Adams got it from side bottom. McCaffrey, just a bit of a loose kick. Lumumba, Collingwood just a little sloppy, aren't they, at the moment? Turnover. Hayes with a careful kick finds his captain Revolt. And Collingwood might pay here for just some lax stuff in the back half.
Yeah, no, they're going okay now, St Kilda. I mean, it's a fair margin. 6 to 5 goals plus, but actually they're going much better. They're running it a lot harder, getting numbers to the contest, and just generally outplaying the Magpies at this point of the game.
And Hayes has been forward 50 for most of this quarter. It's actually been very good, hasn't it?
He's engaging Clinton Young as well. I'm not sure it's necessarily a defensive forward role, but it's certainly working for the Saints.
Well, we've talked a lot about Nick's great kicking tonight, but that one, his reaction tells it all. But he's been a great target this evening.
Yeah, like Lenny in the forward half, he's provided some forward pressure, but also providing a second target outside of the skipper.
Langdon to a one-on-one. Likes Lumumba. Couldn't take the mark. Falls behind. Billings, the look-away hand pass. Montagna. Ross offers step, reaching over the top. Hayes going after it. Nunes on his knees. Springheel Jack to his feet. Plenty of Collingwood players around the football. Frost eventually gave it to Beams. The hard ball was won by Adams. Now they work it around again. Beams got it from Langdon. Back to the pocket, Keith. Now eventually with time, side bottom. Play on's the call, not 15. Young goes short, Langdon. He's a terrific young player, Langdon. Across the ground, White. Seedsman. Would love to take on the man on the mark, but there's no cop in that. Just lobs it over his head instead. Now Lumumba again decides to run it through the wing. Kicks inside the forward 50. Cloak, 2 up against him, and he juggles the mark. He's kicked 2 tonight. After 9 rounds last year, he had booted 26. Coming in tonight, he booted 10.
Slowly getting a bit more confidence, and Again, it's a way to numbers. In his very best form, he clunks that with the one take.
What do the Americans say about a contract year, Tom?
That's when you usually produce, and if you've just signed a big one, you don't.
You've gone a bit far. There goes the kick, and it's beautiful. He puts it straight through the middle.
In American sports, Dan, that was the context of the conversation.
That's the one. Thank you, Tom.
A lot of people say the same applies in Australian sports. Tom, there is a thought that when players win the final year of the contract, it's amazing what good years they had.
That all stops. Yep.
Don't know if I can quote examples, but there was a theory that exists that floats around.
Yeah, they're certainly getting more public, the big contract negotiations in the AFL.
How do you rate his night, Wayne?
Oh, look, he's got around the ground okay tonight. He's got a few of those possessions up and around the wings. He's got a few chip kicks, but that one there, at least he met the ball at its highest point, albeit, as you said, Tom, got the one hand to it, which was the glove hand, but it stuck and went back and nailed it, and that's what he has to do.
And he's kicked 3, so and for the second time only this year, he's kicked more than 2 in a match, so his confidence certainly improving. That was a beautiful handball by Williams to Keefe.
Stay there.
And now Blair.
Stay out, Adam. Play on.
Well, that's a terrible kick. Malira now revolts on his bite. Malira, poor handball. Jones back to Dunstan. Well, that all started with Malira. Really, really poor. Cloak.
Well,
Beams. And then Beams to full forward. And Jesse White couldn't quite. Second crack in the back. Well, no.
there's Bruce. Got it from Shenton. Montagna did well back to Shenton. Shown a bit tonight, Shenton. That's a nice kick, too, up towards the wing. Malira wants to give it off again, so he's back on the horse immediately. Dunstan inside the forward 50. Too much carry for Sipos. Punched away, gathered nicely by Williams. Quick slick kick towards the outer side. Releases McCaffrey to space. Drives it down towards half forward. In front down there, Cloak. Leads back after the football. Montagna trying to frisk him down. Stealing it away as Beams. Got the best decision. Gave it to Witts. Had no alternative. And in short it comes to Fasolo. So Fasolo with 4 first-half goals. Can he make it 5 right here? That would, I think, equal his career high. A couple of times.
Just the once here,
Just
5,
the once.
yeah.
I knew I was chancing my luck.
This is his second best so far.
Yeah.
You
Thanks,
knew
mate.
it. You knew it.
Of course. Here's Fasolo. Kick is on the way. It's sweet. No, it's just falling away. It hit the post. Just lost its momentum over the last 10 metres or so of its trip.
It was a sweet kick. So the Saints under the pump, side bottom, cutting on. Gee, Nunes was good there. Gorgeous back turn. Lovely looking kick. Billings took a beautiful mark in this quarter. And then Billings with a lovely long leg to Sipos. Good mark. Gee, that was impressive. From full back to full forward. And when you see Sipos take a mark like that, and you look at him and you think,
Yeah.
why doesn't he do a bit more?
He's a
Because
bit of an enigma, isn't he?
everything's there. I mean, the physique.
Yep.
I mean, he'll kick this out of the ground. Well, there's a roof on top, so he won't. But he's a massive unit in terms of sort of a medium forward, but a big guy and a massive kick. This would be a great goal if he kicks it from one end to the other. Well done, St Kilda. Not going away. Sipos gets his first.
You'd love to know a bit more about him because you stand next to him, he's 190 centimetres, he'd be 91, 92 kilos. He kicks it, as you say, like a mule, and looked like he ran well with the fight of the ball to a clean contested mark.
He's 21, Tom, and he's only played 28 games. You feel like there's something big there, don't you?
Yeah, and I remember his first season, he came onto the scene as an 18-year-old and looked the part, but just hasn't been able to cement. I mean, that's part of their future, isn't it?
Played the ball well. Yeah, the thing about Sipos probably is he might be a bit of an in-betweener, not quite a running midfielder and not quite big enough to be a mark overhead often enough. So he therefore becomes just a little bit inconsistent what he does.
Margin steady around that low 30 mark, 34 right now. Hayes held up.
Is he about Gunston's size? I mean, I'm thinking Gunston for...
Well, Gunston's probably taller as well, but Gunston is, I think Gunston better overhead clearly than Jack Gunston. We're talking from Hawthorn, and probably covers the ground better as well.
Well done, Montagna. Wide of the pack. Ray quickly into trouble. Another ball up.
I think you can, just to finish off on Sipos, I think you can assume that he doesn't have a big tank, because if he did, he'd obviously spend more time through the midfield. And as you said, Lee, that in-between type player.
Beams read it well, kicks inside the forward 50. Loose ball at the back of the pack. Collingwood, good representation. Cloak. Goldsack left it behind and applies a strong tackle on Jones and got him down. Jones is trying to get it out of there. We'll have a ball up. Dangerous spot for the Saints as we count down to three-quarter time. Just under 5 minutes remaining. Plenty of bodies around this footy. Well played by Stanley. Just left behind there by Adams. Strong tackle again by Goldsack. He's a very good forward pressuring player now. Pendlebury just dragging him in his weight down towards full forward. He's taken it to a dangerous situation. About 20 metres out now, directly in front.
It's like a rugby player, wasn't it? A rugby union player pushing the ball. Ray cannon into, I think, Goldsack again. He is a tackling machine, Goldsack. He's done 3 in less than a minute, I reckon, here. And every one of them has been with force.
Have a look at that 26 inside 50 tackles. That really locks the ball in. Collingwood done that well.
Well done, White. Beams cutting it back. It's gone. Oh, there was a great stoppage work. I mean, I think it was wide over the top and a brilliant snap.
Just so quick. I mean, his ability to get to the space and then get boot to ball. He's playing at an unbelievably elite level at the moment, Dane Beams, this year.
There's so many great midfielders, you know, from Ablett down and Pendlebury's right. But this guy's right there, I reckon. I mean, he's young, he's 24, he's played 101 games, but God, he's a good player.
Just watch his work here. He's playing on a fairly handy player in Lenny Hayes, but then the speed here to turn, get the ball on his left boot and kick the goal.
Lenny watched the ball as well.
Yep.
And in that part of the ground, you've got to very much have your opponent under control.
So out of the middle. Goes down towards half forward. Nunes has had a good match. Knocks it forward. Elliott couldn't find a way through. Stanley. Nunes again. So much of the football. Curran looks down towards half forward. Revolt is the target. Almost stuck. Close to the boundary line. Popped across by Tuvey. On the game now. I've got some stuff, Bruce. For Collingwood, 30,000 goals in their history. That last one.
That is good stuff, isn't it?
You've been counting for a while.
I saw most of them. Gordon Coventry, 1,299 of them. That'd be right, wouldn't it? At the Coventry end. I think that's the irony right there. With the history of it all. Meantime, I think I'll rest on my laurels, Bruce. You just go for it.
We're all speechless in it. Brilliant stuff. So Schneider. Side bottom. Done some good tackle.
So we're thinking Gordon Coventry's kicked about 3% of Collingwood's goals.
I'm not taking questions. I'm not taking questions.
Is that the most? 30,000 goals?
It said it was the most. I think you did say it was the most.
There you go.
Yes. I'm told.
In the VFL, AFL history.
So Billings pushed out of a good mark taken by Dunstan. He's already kicked a goal in this quarter. Well, Collingwood fans will be rejoicing about that. So Beams gets their 30,000th goal, eh?
Something.
Piece of memorabilia in that.
Because Gordon Coventry, it took forever for someone to run him down. It was Plugger Lockett, of course, at the SCG on that famous day.
15 gone.
So heard the umping now. Dunstan with a chance to just keep St Kilda in this. They've refused to die here tonight, haven't they? They've been pretty good. Collingwood, a top-class team. St Kilda hanging on, and that's not going to do it. And they're behind.
Haven't had the look of a top-class team tonight, Collingwood, don't reckon. I mean, they've been okay. They'll probably win because I don't think St Kilda quite got the talent to overwhelm them, but I don't think they've been terribly impressive tonight.
Langdon. Nice kick coming in. Lumumba getting in behind their opposition here. Pendlebury. Ditto. Just got it to Beams in the nick of time. Nunes was closing. Williams has been pretty good tonight, 18 possessions. He's got a nice strong kick, keeps it low too. It gets there quickly. This kick needs to get there quickly. In from the side, it's knocked away by Billings. Falls to Ray, looked up, no one to kick to. Decides to run then. Gets away from Witts, well-weighted kick. Malira's the target, that was clever. Timely nudge, got rid of Williams. On the move, Montagna. Montagna's got it, 35 metres out.
It's a really good kick in there by Malira. He was off balance for a right foot and able to get it down and get the angle, almost kicking it outside himself here. Here's the intercept here by Jack Billings, getting across and starting the rebound at half-back. Just watch this kick here. That's a tough kick, outstanding kick.
Lee Montagna, 23rd possession. Gosh, he's been a good player. When they were good, now when they're struggling. And that just misses. Didn't hold its line. Through for a minor score. So St Kilda, full credit to them without being patronising. They just keep on coming.
So Witts got it in short from Seedsman. Seedsman had time, had a little fumble. Nunes talked about his efforts, they've been good. He's an emerging player for St Kilda. Curran is doing the run-with job this year, learning a lot about the caper. Short. She just didn't attack it hard enough there, Ross. Spilled out of Curran. Stephen just searching, runs into Ray, and then brought down in the tackle. Ball not coming out and the ball up.
Where do you have Collingwood, Lee?
I think Collingwood, their very best, can be a premiership contender. I just think they haven't been that impressive tonight. Although I think the rider is the preparation. I mean, obviously coming off the bye, St Kilda, Collingwood coming off 2 6-down breaks is a significant advantage to St Kilda in that preparation, I reckon.
Thomas forward, mark taken by Cloak. So pretty good night for Cloak. He's kicked his 3, and then off that step, well-weighted kick. Adams takes the mark. So Adams, who came across from the Giants with the trade, and I think he's going to be a very good player. They're a hard team to crack into when you're in his position as a 20-year-old, but he's playing his 5th game for this season. Played the first 3 in round 7. Back in tonight. Would love a goal here. Is it coming back? No. So a behind to Collingwood. So they've got a strong lead at 3/4 time here on the Friday night. Cloak kicked a couple of 3rd quarter goals. St Kilda have hung around, but Collingwood have the edge. It's 92-53.
There, he's been really good tonight. He's had the 18 disposals, and the only player out there for Collingwood, Nick Maxwell's obviously subbed off. He hasn't had a contested possession, so he's been able to run around by himself tonight.
Magpies by 39 points as we start this final term on Friday Night Football. One down by Longer. Dunstan could have been held without it. We'll get the free kick.
Second action. Stay out.
He's been good. Goes wide. Murdoch, who started very well, chips it down towards half forward. Hayes, nicely done. Beats Williams, goes inside the forward 50. Revolt almost. Frost, the despairing arm in there, knocked it away. And as a result of scramble, so close for the skipper there to go back and shoot at his 4th. It was great defence.
What are you reckon about that, Lee? That centre clearance, and that, again, we spoke about earlier, went wide and then brought the ball back.
Well, I guess the one thing that both sides now know that both teams are starting the pair defender, so I suppose you've got to be a little bit precise trying to get it through.
Beams, Pendlebury, Young.
And again, that non-contested possession for Young. He's been such a playmaker off that half-back line. Shenton's handball poor. Cut off by Blair. Jones wraps him up. Ball just coming out. Pendlebury over the top. Beams getting involved. He's had more disposals than the other player. And a ball up.
And certainly not an indictment on Clinton Young that he hasn't had a contested possession. He's played his role exceptionally well tonight. He's a huge weapon for them off half-back. Even now, he's just setting himself off the stoppage. Just see him coming into screen. Just
his pace and his ability to kick over the line and break the line. Hayes. They played every game this year. Lenny Hayes will get to 298. I wonder if that'll be an incentive for next season. Pendlebury got it off Longer. Out wide. Thomas, who started so well. Good kick. Here's Cloak, and that's just what Wayne Carey talked about. Getting up the ground, maybe getting an easier one, but he's had a good night. Kicks to fall forward and wiped the target, and belted by Bruce and Dempster and a behind. And I think Young's health is going to be really important for Collingwood.
Yep.
He adds that extra bit to them.
Nunes, short of half-back, takes the mark. 40 points the margin then. Nunes, generally a very nice kick. Well, he's asked a bit of himself and his teammate, but the kick was good enough. Stephen ushering teammates forward. Drops it over the top by hand to Bruce. Kicks down the line. Stanley comes at it. Tried to knock it to Billings, arriving quickly as Stephen running out of space, and the ball's out of bounds. We were talking about Collingwood kicking their 30,000th goal earlier. That's in club history. A few callers, Saints fans ringing in. What about our goals, they're saying? Well, let's put it this way. If it were a match, you're 5,068 goals behind. If only Plugger had stayed, eh? Defensive side of the wing, here's Dunstan. Long ball to half forward. Hayes in front, reaching over the top and doing nicely. Beams knew where the help was. Goes back Lumumba. Out wide for Solo.
Fasolo with 3 goals in the opening quarter. 4 to half-time. Well played, Dempster. To Malira. And then Malira's kick just missing Revolt. Langdon getting back. Well played, Langdon. To Keefe. Keefe switches to Young, and here he goes again. To Witts, Young on the burst. And that kick, a good one again. Seedsman, who runs so well himself. Elliott, back turn to Seedsman. And then Seedsman to the pocket. That's terrific footy, Collingwood. Really good stuff from one end to the other. And Cloak, Wayne's just got back up here. Assessed his performance to three-quarter time, liked the fact he'd worked so hard to have a few disposals and a lot of shots at goal.
Quite relaxed with his shot at goal. He's got plenty of the ball. He's kicked his 3 goals. He'd certainly be feeling pretty good about his footy tonight comparative to most of the year to this point.
This to equal his season high. It looks good. He's kicked 4. Well, I reckon the 2 big stories to come from tonight are the report on Sidebottom and Cloak, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, that's what everyone's going to be talking about in the morning, isn't it? Cloak taking a step forward tonight.
It's a really good game. 4 goals, 2, 17 disposals. The only player for Collingwood taking contested marks.
Gee, Ducky might get in your top 5 if he keeps going with another one.
No, well, I've always said, Bruce, if you kick 5 and have more than 20, it's a great game.
Good finish, Wayne, isn't it?
Yeah, really good finish. Kicking the ball actually really, really well tonight. From that distance is usually his troublesome area, so that was a beautiful kick.
Rucks go at it. Longer wins it down. Schneider, he called his name too often tonight. Beams, Schneider does well. Beams, 27 possessions now. What a willing worker he is.
Free kick. Thank you.
Witts gets the free. And the margin currently at 46. Chance here to go forward and push it over 50. So Witts takes something off this kick. Good mark in front, goal sack. Now, he's worked so hard tonight, he deserves a goal.
Hasn't he worked hard? Hasn't had a kick. This is his first kick for the night, the 5 handballs.
Is that right?
But 6 tackles, Denny. He's been the worker bee. Yeah, he's been really good.
Not sure that cuts the mustard. No kicks.
That's what the coaches, they like tackles better than kicks. It's
yeah,
amazing.
absolutely.
That's where I went wrong. Here's Goldsack. Want him to kick it. Wow.
The basic issue about tackling now, you can't tackle with the ball in your hands.
Well, you can, but it's on.
No, not with the ball in your hands, you can't.
Oh, true, I see what you're saying.
You've got to let the other people get the ball.
Give it to him first. And then, that's why he's had the 5 hand passes and the 6 tackles. He's just given them up.
What if you loop it over the top, Lee? Stay with me on this.
He is number 1 in the comp for tackles inside 50, and we're not surprised. Young off a step, mark taken by Schneider. So when Nathan's asked tonight, Lee, about Goldsack,
We'll say he worked hard, which he did. He did work hard, but I'm saying that it's better to get the ball than tackle. That's if you've got the choice.
Here he goes again.
Yeah.
Shenton. Newnes over the top. He's had plenty of it. Curran. Billings. She often revolt. They've just kicked it too tall for him, haven't they? A few times tonight. Marley Williams, he's a beautiful mover. Lovely spread out wide. Young, well, he can kick a goal if he wants to. Oh. Well, he misses Pendlebury. Cloak switches back. Elliott. Elliott's a good kick. And he's got his second goal. And Collingwood, I reckon, might be in the third spot right now. Good finish. They're just starting to overwhelm them now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're now starting to get through them. They kicked a reasonable score, 16-9. They've had a bit of a down that first quarter, just couldn't score after getting a lot of forward entries early in the game, but they are finishing strong enough.
Seeing Nick Revolt there, and I think what he needs to do is just come back onto the ground. He needs to get the players together during the week and tell them he's 193 centimetres tall, not 210 that most of them think he is. The poor bloke, he's had every kick just about tonight that's been above his head, way above his head.
Out of the middle. Sends it inside the forward 50. Missed down there by Murdoch. Bruce working hard behind. For Solo harder though, did well. Cloak to a voice. Elliott deep in the pocket. Gets away from Jones, goes with the outside of the boot at the post. Well, he was well covered early, but it's hard to suppress for an entire game. If he keeps his feet on the ground, I don't mean that literally, he's going to be a big star. Shenton, Hayes, now Billings. On the bounce, Stanley, missed it completely. Beams again, just keeps running, outworks them. Keith taken high.
And the advantage, White, that looked a good kick. Good defensive work by Dempster. On for Solo. Shenton, Hayes to Dempster, has to switch to Ray. Ray runs into a dead end, goes back to Hayes. Hayes. Good build up here. Malira, he's had an almost night, Malira. Handball's okay. Billings with a good leg. Lovely looking kick, doesn't quite hold the line. End of behind. 18 years of age and a lot to look forward to, the number 3 draft pick. Taken behind a couple of giants. So Keefe and Pendlebury and White and Pendlebury.
Through midfield, Thomas has drifted out of the game, just coughs this one up, then applies a tackle.
So that was it, get his hand past the opponent and apply the tackle. You get a stat, a handball and a tackle.
Billings has got the footy. He goes across the ground. This is Bruce.
Wouldn't say the little under-10 should be following that particular policy.
From the master coach. 48 metres out, scramble and a ball up. 52 points the margin. So now the class starting to tell. White taps it down. Ray with the left boot. Off target, it bounces out of bounds in the pocket. So just looking at the numbers, Beams with his 29 leads all comers on the ground. Just off the pace early, but he just doesn't tire. White into the path of Thomas. Langdon in front, Elliott. Nobody up ahead really. So he just squares the ball short. Lumumba has it. Plenty of guys back inside the centre square. Goes to one of them, White. Now Adams. Lowers the eyes, misses the target. Intended for Beams. Jones is back there.
Didn't really take it cleanly. Then to Sipos. Switches to Dempster. Heard the umpy. So Hayes running hard and getting wide to Curran. Now Curran's got Dunstan. He's just come off the interchange. Now Revolt, does he make the lead? Dunstan kicks to full forward in a contest. Well done cutting across Young, but it wasn't the best of kicks. So boundary throw in. Collingwood with this lead of 52. There's the live ladder. So Collingwood third as it sits right now. They'll be in the top 4 one way or the other, no matter what happens with this scoreline tonight, whether the Saints erode a bit. So got a pretty good draw, Collingwood. They're going to be pushing up, I reckon, pretty hard over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Some players to come back to, haven't they? Reed's one that probably has been forgotten almost. Hopefully he can do that and come back in good form. Cloak has found form. Here's Blair. Just take something off the kick, trying to lead McCaffrey to the footy. Always going to be difficult. Shenton in the opposite direction, trying to pinpoint it. Well done by Keith, back in the side tonight. Just knocking it up to his own advantage and taking the mark. Short to McCaffrey. One of those awkward margins. 52 points. Oh, good mark. Beams. Best and fairest at Collingwood. Surrounded by terrific midfielders, but loses nothing by comparison, really. Goes across the ground. Seedsman been valuable on the lead. Elliott starting to feel it now. Elliott looks back to the middle for Solo. Couldn't take the mark. Spills to Blair. Goes with the outside of the boot and gets it to go left to right. Bounces out of bounds and misses everything. Well, he did what he intended, but not to that degree.
So all Collingwood in this final term. Whitson longer. Pendlebury. Beams. So he's over 30 for the 31st time in his 101st game. So a remarkable start to his career. Lumumba. Tuvey. Good tackle, Dunstan. Hayes, such a winning worker. Sipos. He's got strength on both sides of the body. Long left foot kick. He wants the boundary. Keefe getting back. Back in the team tonight. Just out for the one. Of course, Brown injured now. So Keefe would be feeling a little more secure. Brown, unfortunately for him, out for the season. But Reed will come back. He'll be swinging Reed, you'd think, from forward to back. Williams to Seedsman.
He'll be a valuable player. They'll be a much better team with a fit Ben Reed in their lineup.
Missing link really at the moment, isn't he? I think it's almost
extra defender, extra tall forward.
Williams to Williams to Young. We've talked a lot about Young and just his use tonight. Pushes the ball forward.
Exactly what makes
50 metres. You've got to give it back to the player, mate, not to his teammate.
So just a lack of concentration, and Elliott's about to kick his 3rd goal.
I was just going to say, that's exactly what makes Jamie Elliott a tough matchup. He presents up the ball well and takes the ball at the highest point, but we saw what he could do on the boundary as well at ground level. So again, another good night for Jamie Elliott.
Well, this will be his 22nd goal for the season. Trav Cloak on 14 at the moment, so they're the 2 leading goal scorers for the club. He is a hard matchup, isn't he? He's got a lot of tricks. He's very brave. He's a good kick, and he's kicked 3 second-half goals tonight. I know it's a term that coaches don't know, but he is a star. I mean, he's just got that quality, hasn't he?
Well, he's not a target forward, but he actually gets his 2, 3, sometimes 4 goals a game because he's good in the air. Mainly a crumbing play. What he's got to do a play like that is just understand the balance between when do I fly and when do I stay down. I mean, clearly if it's a one-on-one contest like that, make yourself available, become a marking target. Big jump, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's got enormous power in his legs and that upward leap.
There's the 50-metre penalty from Billings. Just didn't give the ball back to Elliott. Gave it to side bottom instead. Harsh penalty.
Longer, stolen by Beams. The longer it's gone, the better he's got. Fasolo committed to the pack, almost found it on the ground. In fact, he did, was taken high, will get a free kick. All one-way traffic now. 58 points the difference. Sends it out wide. Pendlebury will need to go here. Did. Knocks it away from Ray. Taken down in front by Blair. Side bottom. Back to Pendlebury. Langdon measures the hand pass for Solo. Back to Langdon. Runs himself into trouble. Oh, well, how did he pick him out? Well, almost. Hayes did well. Knocked it away from Blair. Standing his ground, Thomas. And Thomas is taken high.
Catch his boat. What's that for? Hi. Yes, mate.
So a disappointing end, really, for the Saints. As Collingwood now just storming forward at every opportunity.
the first left arm, not the best angle of it there, but got him over the shoulder.
Thomas has put it 2. This is his 24th possession, so getting a reprieve coming into the team. Late withdrawals, Grundy and Swan. You get the feeling he might be hard to push out in the short term. This one is out to the right and misses.
We're on margin watch now, Leo. I reckon you said 60 points.
I did 60, yeah, 60
59.
points. What are we? 59. I got a feeling it might go a bit over that. I mean, I thought St Kilda might run the game out harder than Collingwood, but clearly not the way this last quarter's been going.
And is this changing your opinion of Collingwood's performance tonight or not?
Well, they're going to be end up beating by 60, 70 points, but I guess you can't knock that. Makes them a 7-3 after 10 rounds, so it's pretty impressive performance. First half for the season.
And they only won one of their first 3 leagues, so they got away to the... We were there on the first night when the Dockers absolutely smashed them, so this has been a really good effort by Collingwood.
I mean, St Kilda I think they've had pretty good effort tonight, but they haven't had much class to really make any scoreboard pressure from their efforts.
Well, they're a bottom 6 team list-wise with half their players out.
Yeah, we've seen them in the stands, and particularly in their back half. At one-on-one, I think they've actually battled pretty manfully in their defensive 50.
Gee, Adams copped it right up the front there.
He's supple to do that.
And the ball up. It's just a matter of, you know, Joey Montagna with the story tonight. They've just got to dig in, don't they, and grit their teeth, those experienced players, and the tide will turn eventually.
Langdon, so cool back there. Seedsman across the ground. Here's Young. Left half back. Pendlebury battles in front. Ball spills behind for Solo with the pace. Can he gather it cleanly? Well, he did. Pendlebury, Thomas on the move is Cloak. And Cloak has taken the mark. Just forward of the 50.
It's interesting, Clay, when he has been struggling, but you hear Collingwood players saying, I think Nick Maxwell said during the week, we just want him to compete. We don't expect him to get 20 possessions and 5 goals every week. I think they're a bit happy if he does get 20 possessions and 5 goals every week. And tonight he may.
Well, can he kick this one? His last effort was a beauty. This one, he's decided to centre the ball. About 15 metres out. Here's a chance for Thomas. He prods it forward. Quick thinking. Just misses to the left-hand side.
When you look at Josh Thomas, you do marvel at the depth that Collingwood have in those mid-sized players. Seedsman's come in, Thomas has come in. They've really got some fantastic depth, and their development works first class at the Pies.
Well, Murdoch just over kicking it, and Witt's the recipient there.
He's sitting there minding his own business, just as his own play, Witts, and the kick drops straight in his hands. Bit of a bonus, that one.
He's an interesting player. He's 21 years of age. It's his 15th game tonight. He's with Grundy. I mean, he's just such a massive man, isn't he? Looks to have a good future. Not a bad kick. That'll please him and the coach and the supporters.
He's still very much a project player, Jared Witzer, one of those non-traditional pathways. He was a rower. You like this one, Den, from Barker College in Sydney. Played for Sydney Uni, and just a great athlete. And from all accounts, a really great student of the game. He takes his notepad to class and doesn't die wondering. So yeah, he looks the goods.
Wayne, give us your top 5 tonight.
Yeah, look, I think Dane Bean has been a superb player all night. 15 of his possessions have been contested, and Travis Cloak, 4 goals and 20 possessions is a very good game. 5 and 22 is a great game.
Yeah. You get the next one.
Umpire will do it again. Didn't go unnoticed, Tom. That was, again, brilliant. No notes, just off the top of your head. None of us know if it's right or not,
no.
But even so, here's Beams again.
Parents would.
Sounds great. Inside the forward 50. Falls in front. Collingwood have got the men there. Here's Cloak. Tries to go back inside. That was a perfect hand pass. Now Adams, could he kick a goal? No, he can't. Oh, he's doing himself harm. That was a bad miss earlier tonight. Sprayed one out to the right. Sorry, Lee.
Keep going. No, I was just saying with Grundy and Witch, they've got two really good, really young ruckmen. The problem is it's very hard actually to play two ruckmen and give them enough match time.
Elliott twisting and turning. Oh, behind.
And I reckon the other piece of that, Lee, is, and particularly seeing it tonight, I reckon Jesse White's best bet is when he is the second ruckman, second forward. So, and just throwing Ben Reid there, it's an embarrassment of riches really when you're talking about tall players, and finding that right mix is going to be part of Bucks' challenge come September.
So Revolt in the back up. So do you think Reid's going to be more forward or more back, guys? I mean, Brown's out for the year. We know that they've got Frost again. Is he more forward or back?
Oh, that's a really good question. Indications are, I think he will play back when required.
Yeah. I think if you talk to the Collingwood players, they're thinking more forward.
Yeah. As the second forward.
There's those defenders.
That's where Witch probably loses his position in the team.
Some Kilda defenders sitting there and watching, eh?
Sam Fisher on the phone there. Here's Stephen on Tanya. Nice little work with teammate and Curran. Eventually over the top it comes to Ross, who swings it out wide. No real chance off half back for Dempster. Dempster looks down towards half foot, goes with the left peg though. As a result, hangs a long time in the air. Well played by Young. Good tackle by Malira. Could have been holding the ball close to the boundary line. Lumumba and Langdon belies his years. Gives it across to side bottom. Comes in short and finds White. I was talking to Sam Fisher actually before the game tonight. Here's Williams. Could be back in a couple of weeks, he said, which is encouraging. Thomas at half forward sends it long. Holding in the goal square. It's going to be a Collingwood free kick, I fancy. It'll go to Cloak. And Sam was bemoaning the fact that the injury cost him footy time and golf time as well. And his handicap is out to 2. Poor fella. Meantime, Travis Cloak, point blank range at his 5th. Gilbert, Wilt there as well. It's half of your back 6. Meantime, he's got 5.
It's been a good reaction from all the players every time he's kicked a goal tonight.
His numbers are fantastic, really. 23 disposals, 12 marks, 5 goals too. Don't know whether my judgment says he's been as good as his numbers indicate.
Well, he's kicked 4 goals after half-time.
Yeah.
Kicked 4 goals after half-time.
He still looked a bit rusty in some of the...
I've seen him look more dominant.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Than he has tonight.
But with Cloak, you feel like it's been a big night, but it might be the start of something really big
well,
now.
It's just the fact that he's got a lot of ball in hands and he's kicked the goals. I mean, don't think the defenders he's playing on are any great shakes. That's one of the issues, I think, tonight that helps.
Saw the reaction to Wayne's top 5 there. Cloak might grow and grow now with the 5th goal. Adams cutting across. So Collingwood will be 3rd tonight. It's a great recovery. They were bottom of the table after round 1. Williams with a lovely little sidestep. Pendlebury so smooth through the centre to White. And then White looking up. Lovely kick, and Elliott takes the mark. Well, Collingwood having a terrific final term here. They did last week in very different circumstances. So Elliott, like Cloak, really getting heavily on the scoreboard in the second half here.
That's Jesse White's go-to, I think, Lee. He has that ability to roam across through the middle, half forward. And that's a beautiful kick inside 50.
This is a bit like Tippett and Buddy last night, 5 and 4, isn't it? 5 for Cloak and maybe 4 for Elliott tonight.
15 seconds.
And Elliott, all of his after half-time and 4 of Cloak's after half-time. Good kick. Holding the line. So he's got 4, Cloak's got 5. It's a good night for the Pies.
We mentioned Tippett and Buddy, Bruce, and talking about Ben Reid before. That's where he's the horses for courses man. So when Collingwood, if and when they play a side that can really load up front, he plays down back. If not, plays the forward line.
And when I look at Lee and I look at Duck, I mean, Duck had Longmire for a long time. Lee had great full forwards as well. I mean, you can have 2 big goal kickers in that forward 50, can't you?
Yep.
And two just complement each other so well.
Yeah, the other one that you're missing there, Bruce, is Fasolo, who kicked his 4 in that first half as well.
So matches to come.
Yeah, they're the
for
matches
Collingwood.
to come for Collingwood. So Melbourne, Western Bulldogs, you'd expect them to win those two, and then obviously the Hawks and the Blues. So they've got a good run.
For sure.
Thomas couldn't take it with him. Blair. Marley Williams spins out of trouble under pressure, got boot to ball. Diving in there is Beams again. Ross, Hayes, Nunes, Bruce. Ray stood up in a tackle under pressure. Nunes kicks it up towards the wing. Billings is surrounded here. Is stolen away with ease by Sidebottom. Short. There's Elliott again. 4 goals alongside his name. Nice. Puts it across to Thomas. Bit of a look-alike. Thomas off a step. Blair had it bounce off his chest. St Kilda now. Ross has got it. Goes to the opposite pocket. There's a chance for Murdoch. There's a deep kick. He goes short, close to the line. And Sipos, it was a long kick, has this ball just inside the defensive 50. That's a poor kick. It's very high in the air. White almost the mark. Lurking at the back. Dempster. White with dash. Gets through. Goes short. Finds Blair. You heard the umpire. It wasn't 15. Thomas has got it now. And Thomas goes in and kicks his 3rd.
Gee, that's a good game for Josh Thomas. When you're talking just sheer numbers here, that's 29-3. 12 of those contested possessions. Career high 3 goals for Josh Thomas. They've always had been a big rap for him since he's come into the system, and you can see why tonight. He's got poise, he's got good touch, seemingly great work rate too.
And Tom, what a bonus for Collingwood. I mean, Seedsman comes in, Thomas comes in tonight. You know that Swan will be back. I mean, Grundy's a different type of player.
Ball will be back.
That depth you've talked about,
Yeah, I mean, just when you look at the sort of footy, the bigger picture of the footy club, they clearly develop their players really well. They've got a great football department.
So for the 3rd time this year, someone's really got hold of the Saints. Adelaide did it earlier this year, of course, Hawthorn, and now Collingwood, with so much damage done in this final term. Goldsack talked about his tackling a lot, and the fact that he hasn't kicked it too much, and the tackler there gets tackled himself by Murdoch. So the Saints in a bit of a hole here. They've lost their last 5. They're short on numbers. They weren't short on effort for 3 quarters tonight, but they've been overwhelmed by a team that's building momentum and in the top 4 tonight, in fact in 3rd position. So it's been a bit of a goal feast for Collingwood, hasn't it, in the second half, with their big stars really getting amongst them. Sidebottom the report early, Cloak the 5, the big stories of the night. But Collingwood with Young, ball in hand, what a great match he's had. Down the line to Thomas, so huge win for the Pies, into the top 4 tonight, winning 140-54. So the biggest win over St Kilda for Collingwood in 30 years.